I was inspired to share the large intestine channel with all of you today. So, I think large intestine channel, most people think about constipation and diarrhea, right? There is the physical constipation and diarrhea, and then there is the energetic constipation and diarrhea, and it looks like this. Energetic constipation, it's like you're holding on and you're holding on and you're holding on. Okay, so for example, I had clients, maybe they had an abortion, or maybe they had sex at a very young age. And then they have some shame associated with something that they've done in the past. And they just hold on and hold on and hold on. This is a kind of energetic constipation. The other kind is energetic diarrhea, right? This actually is really funny. You think about controlling the whole, about what we hold in and what we let go. It's actually related to setting boundaries with someone. Have you ever met the kind of person where they just talk and talk and talk and talk? You didn't even invite them to talk, but they can't stop talking. Okay? Any of you relate? Have you ever met somebody like that who can't stop talking? Okay, I think there's a term for that. I think it's called verbal diarrhea. And even after you set boundaries with that person, they just can't stop it. They send you 20 text messages. You haven't replied to a single one, right? These people have no ability to keep secrets, or they don't have the ability to respect boundaries. So this is a very interesting thing. So in all of the 12 channels in acupuncture, Li4, which we're going to talk about later, it regulates what we call defensive qi. So this is really interesting because this is actually related to sweat, right? This is related to um, opening and closing. You ever meet somebody who sweats a lot? Not gonna look at any particular direction over here. And or somebody who sweats very little, right? So the large intestine channel is related to the metal element, the lung, which is also related to skin, right? So today we're going to talk about pimples and all kinds of rashes and, condition, but also the skin, the pores is related to this sweat. And so whether somebody has a healthy defensive system, right? For example, if we got exposed to COVID, we might want to stimulate Li4 because we want the troops to show up. We want the defensive chi to go kick some ass, right? And at the same time, we also don't want to use this point if we're pregnant. We don't want the body to think that the baby is an enemy and want to get rid of it. We want to we don't want to stimulate this point. So actually, this point is contraindicated in pregnancy. But it's interesting, right, that there is so much art to this. Okay, so okay, so let's talk about this. So the large intestine channel is on the second finger, and so if you kind of like you're holding a can of Coke or beer, and then you squeeze this part a little bit, and you find this high point. Okay, so this point is called Li4. So this point is for defensive chi. It regulates the opening and closing and sweat. Is you know, don't do this when you're pregnant. And also, this point takes care of everything in the face and the mouth. So what does that mean? Is that you got pimples, Li4. You got really angry and you have really red eyes, Li4. Okay, this is a true story. I'm gonna tell a quick story. So, a long, long time ago, when I was a first year acupuncture student, you're not supposed to really needle people until you have a medical license. But one day, I don't know why, my ex-husband got really angry and he had this red shot eyes. And, obviously he's really bothered. I said, come here, let me like needle your Li4. And, he's like, oh, but you don't really have a license, can you really do that? And I said, okay, you want red eyes, so you want the red eyes to go away. And he's like, fine. But I needled it, and within the hour, the redness went away. So I just want to tell you the power of acupuncture. It's so powerful. Okay, so two things. Do you know that sometimes your tooth, there's a little swelling in the gums? It's not because you didn't brush teeth. It's not because you ate too much chocolate. It's not because you didn't floss. It's because you have a large intestine channel problem. Okay, so again, Li4 can help you with this. Okay, to be more specific, the stomach channel is the upper gum and the lower gum is large intestine channel. It has to do with the pathway. So, here we have the lower gum. Yeah, so this is really interesting. And also nose. Oh my God, yes, nose. I am going to put in red nose. Why? Because the large intestine channel is also associated with the metal element, and which means it's related to lungs. And how this is relevant, right? What is the organ that we use to breathe? The nose, right? So as you can tell, the lung and the large intestine channel, they're actually a yin yang pair. And I like to call them like husband and wife. So yang is more heat, right? Yin is more cold. So what that means is if you have nosebleed, Li4, right? So you can see now you have a lot of application, Oh, my daughter has a nosebleed, Li4. All right, so this is like the moral of the story is this can do everything. Okay, even like coughing blood actually. Okay, so now my node cord has ran out of space and I went into Li11, which is really good news. Why? Because large intestine 11 clears heat. It clears all kinds of heat. So for example, if you have a lot of heat, then so much heat you cook and cook and cook and maybe the stool get really hard and you get constipated. Or maybe you eat a lot of spicy food, a lot of chocolate, and then you get all these pimples on your face, Li11, right? So any kind of excess heat in the body, you can use Li11. So I want everybody to think about acupuncture as points that you can string together in a recipe. Okay, for example, if I ask um, the ladies in the room, how do you make a brownie? Right? You might tell me, okay, I need flour, I need eggs, I need sugar, I need chocolate, right? So if I asked you, how do you heal constipation, insomnia? How do you fix all these ingredients? Then you find out something about the person, right? Okay, if that person has a lot of heat sign, it's heat, too much heat, they can't sleep, or too much heat, they cannot poop, or, too much heat in the joints, and then they have pain walking. Okay, so you diagnose whether it's heat and cold, and once you find out it's heat, then it's kind of the same way you might want to put some garlic and onion or sugar or salt into your pot of soup. You might want to put Li11 into the recipe of healing, which is why this class is called Healing Energy Recipe, because it's about finding the recipe, put things together, and it all makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to tell you about the chain and lock method. What does the chain and lock method mean? If I am going to battle, should I go by myself or should I bring my friends? Bring my friends, okay? So this concept is, let me bring a friend at the wrist level, bring a friend at the elbow level, and bring a friend at the shoulder level. So if nothing else, you just remember, okay, tap, 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 my Li4, tap, 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 my Li11, tap, 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 my Li15. Okay, so basically, if I hit all the joints, I'm in a really good space. Does anybody want to venture a guess why we want to hit the joints?
Is that uh where we
So they
could
have the most
potentially
flow through them,
sorry.
or they need to.
Anybody online want to venture a guess why we want to hit the joints?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it because do we store like energy within our joints? Like is that what it is?
We missed the
Where
first part of
energy
what you
is
said in
stored?
Altemis.
Where energy is stored? Like is the energy stored within our joints?
Okay, so think about it this way. What is the purpose of joints, Professor Dubois?
To bend the
Yes, thank you.
limbs.
Thank you. The purpose of joint is to bend, right? When I go in a straight line, how's my flow? It's more or less okay. Okay, if I need to take a right turn or I need to take a left turn, is the flow easier or harder if I have to turn? Harder. So what that means is I'm more likely to get stuck at the joints. So the joints are like stop signs or traffic lights, right? Because, okay, I'm like, from my body, my heart is pumping. And then it gets to here, it has to do a bend to get here. And then it has to bend to get here. And then if I'm holding my iPhone like this, it has to do a really big bend to get down here. So basically, the joints are places where energy can get stuck because it's not a straight line. So this is why when in doubt, when you have only 1 minute to do tapping, you should tap the joint. Li4, Li11, Li15. So what I have given you here is kind of, at the okay. I'm gonna put quotation mark risk because it's not actually the risk, it's higher than the risk. But hand so big, this is good enough. And then you got the elbow. Oh, this hand's not working. And now you have the shoulder. And do you know that as above, so below? So basically, this holographically, this is how flexible energy medicine is this is also like the ankle. My elbow is also like my knee. My shoulder is also like my hip joint, right? And so basically, it's a very flexible system. And the other thing that you need to know is the large intestine channel is abundant in qi and blood. What that means is basically, even if you had a stroke, even if you have numbness, even if your circulation is not going there anymore, by doing this, you can resurrect the channel to flow again. Can you imagine that? I actually, when we were in med school, we were told that, when you have a stroke patient, you take what we call the Yang Ming channel. So Yang Ming channel, there's one in the arm and then there's one in the leg. So large intestine channel is the one in the arm, right? So think about it. How many times you've seen people can't raise their arm? How many times you've seen people cannot turn their neck, right? So there's also cannot raise arm, cannot turn neck. Finally, Li20 is one of my favorites. It's for smelling. I don't know about your relationship with smell, but I love my nose. You know, a lot of people talk about seeing things, hearing things. Let's think about some of the phrases that we use. Have we ever heard smells like danger? I don't like the way that smells. Protect you from germs. Oh, okay. So some of us use our brain to judge if something is good or bad. Have you ever used your nose to decide if something is good or bad? Smell maybe your laundry, the food. So, as Jay said, smell brings you right there. It's almost like a some kind of intuition, isn't it? It's like it's not logic.
No, dark and quick.
Wait, dogs have really good smell, right?
That's great smell. Wolves. And even with a long nose, the whole thing.
And so now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. If you guys have any of these conditions that you want to work on tonight.
One, spine, and organ. And it is a Kundalini Yoga Kriya as I get the camera ready. Okay, so it's very simple, straightforward movements. And the first one, we're going to alternate our right and left hand. And if you look, my arm is out straight and my hand is bent 90 degrees. And that conveniently stimulates the large intestine channel right around LI4, right? And then we're just going to breathe in, go up 90 degrees, breathe out. Begin. Breathe in, breathe out. Go at your own pace. Yeah, we're going to do one hand first, and then we're going to do the other. Make sure you're breathing deeply, going at your own pace. And so we're also stimulating our shoulder, LI 15 point. And we're also going to do some bending of the elbow. So this exercise really stimulates the large intestine channel. And then the other hand can just be gently relaxed in your lap. Do a couple more. And reach up and inhale. Hold. And release the arm back down. And we will do the other one. We will do the left arm exactly the same as we did the right arm. So our hand is at a 90-degree angle. And we're just breathing in, out. Coming down to parallel to the floor, going up to 90 degrees. The other hand can just be gently relaxed in your lap. Make sure you're breathing fully in, out. Going at your own pace. A few more here. And inhale up. Hold. Pull that wrist 90 degrees. And release slowly down, back into your lap. And now we're going to do double arm raises. So same thing, but now we're both raising both together. And you're just going to count 40. Keeping both arms straight, bent at the wrist 90 degrees if possible, as much as you can. Putting some active tension into your wrist joint, to your LI4. And as you're coming to the close, breathe in and hold. Pull Muband. For those of you who know what that means, pull your perineum in and release slowly out. Okay. Good. Okay. So I was just going to do some quick warm up. So just sitting in your chair, breathing in as you push forward, breathing out as you bend your spine back, in and out. Again, going at your own pace. Taking a full breath in as you come forward, releasing it fully back. And inhale center. And release. So now um, well, so we want to inhale as we turn back and extend our arm. Exhale, to the left. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The last one. Center and hold. And release. And let's just, if you're standing, let's just do big pelvic circle. If you're sitting, same thing. Do a pelvic grind from a seated position. Breathing in, you go forward. Breathing out, come back. Reverse direction. And get the last. And you're just taking a long, deep breath and breathe out. So as you breathe in, just push your palms forward from the center of your palm. Push out, give your shoulders and your back a stretch, and then as you exhale, release back to a relaxed posture. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. This is also exercising our lungs. Inhale, opening our back. Exhale, inhale, exhale. A few more times here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Now inhale and hold. Pull your perineum upward toward your center, and release the arm to this position above our heads with our hands together. This is the relaxed position. And then when we inhale, we go up. And exhale back down. Go at your own pace. It says 108, but I would go to 54. It's not a difficult posture, but it does, if you follow your breath, you inhale up, you get that stretch through your whole spine and your shoulders. Exhale down, inhale, and exhale. Again, going at your own pace. Make sure to breathe in fully and exhale completely. I don't know about you, but I'm building up some heat here. Maybe we'll have to tap on Li4 when we're done. Do a few more. Inhale and hold. Inhale, clap up. Exhale. Again, breathing as our arms come up. Breathing in, exhaling as our arms come down. Dynamic with the breath. Keeping our spine straight. Breath deep. Really working that large intestine channel. Also, the backs of our shoulders and our spine, aligning our spine. Also taking some of the pressure off our organs. Do a few more. Inhale and hold. Root lock. Release. We're gonna stretch our arms to the side. So just like in this one, we breathe in and stretch forward. This one, we're gonna breathe in and stretch our arms out to the sides, and then relax. Breathe in and stretch, and release. Breathe in, out, in, out. Breathe in and stretch, Breathe out and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. A couple more. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, out. Breathe in and hold. And relax. Ultimately says that she kept yawning. That's good. Means you got more oxygen coming in. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna channel a message for us now, and I think that's the end. You just hit the one button; it'll snap back to the normal position of the camera. The black one. Hey, so everyone to just relax and receive this message and this blessing. Hello, dear ones. I bring you a cool breeze, a gentle reminder. As this cool breeze blows through your large intestine channel, you are unblocked. I feel shoulders loosening, the energy that flows through your large intestine channel, your stomach channel, your spleen channel. And now feel the cool, airy, cloudy waterfall feeling of energy going down beside your spine and your urinary bladder channel, clearing behind your heart, in your mid back, in your low back. And at the same time, you feel this descent from the back of your skull down into your pelvis. Feel a gentle stretching across your upper chest, your shoulder. Feel how coming from your heart, your energy expands outward. It descends from your heart downward into the ground, deep, deep to the earth. From your heart upward, the energy ascends, rises, and at the center, your heart and lungs, at the center of this energetic expansion outward, up outward in all dimensions, forward, backward. Feel the gentle expansion coming from your heart, especially out towards your shoulders, up through your neck, into the base of your skull, all the way up to the crown, lifting a little of the weight off. Feel how this aligns with your purpose, with who you really are. Feel the connection that goes from your heart outward to other beings to whom you are connected, with whom you are united in love. It all comes back to your heart and out to the heart of the next person in the network. And in this way, we make one being. We unite heart, 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 so on. So the connection comes back, us, renewed from a circuit of hearts, a circle, the highest vibration energy, love. I deeply thank you for spending this moment connecting, celebrating, remembering, most love. Thank you, Jesus.
About grief and melancholy because I think everyone has been sad at one point in their life. And what is interesting is, of course, there is the yin kind of grief and then there's the yang kind of grief. And sometimes I like to think about this grief as I know exactly what it is, but I'm so sad about it. And what I realize is this thing that I'm stuck on is actually temporary. Just with breathing, it can go away. And then something else in my life will happen, and then grief will return. And I keep breathing, and then the grief will go away. right? So understanding that, there will be periods in our life that we have bad skin. The periods in our life that we have insomnia. There'll be periods of our life when we work too hard. This is why I love this medicine so much and why I love the tapping, the meridian, the breath work, the moving meditation. Because for as long as we are alive, we will experience connection and separation. We will experience birth and death, people coming together and people saying goodbye. So, this exercise is not like, okay, I do one day and then I'm like done with my grief forever, right? That's like saying, I only need to brush teeth today and I don't need to brush teeth tomorrow. But actually, I love eating chocolate. So the point of life is not to, okay, let me just get over this round of grief and I hope this grief never comes back. No, because grief actually shows us how deeply we loved, how deeply we enjoyed something that is no longer there. So instead of living life like, oh no, grief is bad. I don't want to have grief in my life. What if we just walk around like, oh yeah, I like to eat brownie. I just have to go home and brush teeth. I just have to get on the treadmill. No problem. Brownie is great, right? I'm not afraid of love. No, I'm not afraid of taking risk. I know with certainty that the separation is going to occur. I know with certainty that connections are followed by disconnection. So the point of life is not to avoid breakups. The point of life is not to avoid grief. Because if we avoid grief, we also avoid love. Now, I don't want to live my life avoiding brownies. I'm just going to get really good at brushing teeth, right? I'm not going to spend my life avoiding love, avoiding grief. I'm just going to love a lot and then learn how to do Qigong really, really well. So, on that note, I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed learning about all of these things that you can do with traditional Chinese medicine. I hope you've enjoyed moving the energy. That's just like brushing teeth, just brush teeth really well